Tomorrow is senior year, and honestly, I don't know what I'm expecting. For the past few years, senior years always sounded so far away. It was something I would think about eventually when I was older, when I had everything figured out. But now it's actually here. Tomorrow, I have to wake up, get ready, put my clothes on, grab my backpack, and walk into the school as a senior. And I keep wondering what it's going to be like. Will people treat me differently? Will I feel older? Will I actually feel like a senior? Or will it just feel like another school year? I have expectations, obviously. I expect the first day to be awkward. I expect the hallways to be crowded. I expect everyone to talk about their schedules, what they did over the summer, and what they're doing after graduation. I expect to see people I haven't talked to in months and have those quick conversations where we pretend we kept up with each other. I expect teachers to say something like, this is your last first day of school?" And I already know that sentence is probably going to hit harder than I want it to. Because this year is different. There isn't another year after this. No junior year to look forward to. No, I'll do it next year. No resetting the clock. I keep thinking about the people I'll meet this year too. Maybe I'll make new friends. Maybe I'll reconnect with people I stopped talking to. Maybe I'll stay exactly how I am. I honestly don't know. A part of me wants senior year to be completely different. From every other year, I want to have stories I'll remember forever. I want random moments that I never planned for. I want to look back someday and actually feel like I lived through something. But another part of me is worried that nothing will change, that I'll walk into the school tomorrow expecting some huge transformation, only to realize it's still the same hallway, the same classes, the same routine, the same me. And maybe that's what scares me the most. I never thought I'd actually get here. Senior year was always something that felt so far away. I remember being a freshman and looking at the seniors thinking, man, they're basically adults. 4 years sounded like such a long time, and now tomorrow is my first day of senior year. I'm 17 years old now, and somehow I'm already at the final year of high school. And I don't think I really understand it yet. I think that's what's been bothering me the most. Because everyone talks about senior year like it's supposed to be this huge celebration, your final year, your last chance to make memories, the year everyone is supposed to have the time of their life. But when I actually think about it, I don't feel the excitement everyone tells you that you're supposed to feel. I feel this weird sadness because senior year isn't just about being a senior. It means that everything I've known for the past few years is starting to disappear, and tomorrow is literally the beginning of it. I keep thinking about how different everything was when I first started high school. I didn't know how quickly people would change. I didn't understand how many friendships would come and go. I didn't know that some people I thought would always be around eventually wouldn't even talk to me anymore. And I definitely didn't think I'd be sitting here the day before senior year thinking about how everyone is eventually going to go their separate ways. That's probably the part no one ever prepares you for. You spent your entire childhood going to school with basically the same people. You see them every day. You complain about school together. You laugh together. You get annoyed with each other. You make memories without even realizing you're making them. And then suddenly you're told that this is the final year. After this, everyone starts choosing their own direction. And there's nothing you can really do about it. Some people are going to college. Some people are going straight into careers. Some people are going to completely move to different states. And some people are just going to stay right where they are. And some people you just won't hear from anymore. That thought keeps bothering me because there are people I've known for years who I might only have just a few months left. And none of us really know which moments are going to be the ones that last. And that's what makes it so weird. Tomorrow I could be sitting next to someone laughing about something completely stupid without realizing that one day that exact moment is going to be something I remember. Maybe years from now I'll randomly think about a hallway, a classroom, a lunch period, a conversation that meant absolutely nothing at the time, and realize I can never ever experience that moment again. And I think that's what I'm starting to understand about senior year. It's not just the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of realizing how much has already passed. And honestly, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that yet. And maybe that's why I've been thinking so much about the past lately. I keep remembering little things that I haven't thought about in years. Freshman year, like walking into that school, not knowing where anything was, not knowing who I was going to become. Back then, I thought high school was just going to completely change my life. And in some ways it did. But I don't think I realized how much I would change without even noticing. There are people I used to talk to every day who eventually just became strangers. There are friendships I thought would last forever that just slowly disappeared. Not even because something dramatic happened. Sometimes people just stop texting. You stop sitting together. You get different classes and you meet different people. And you eventually realize you haven't talked in months. That's one of the weirdest things about growing up. Not every goodbye actually feels like a goodbye. Sometimes it just feels like another normal day until you look back and realize it was the last time. And now I'm wondering how many of those moments senior year is going to have. How many times am I going to say goodbye without realizing it? How many people am I going to promise I'll stay in contact with only for life to get busy? Because everyone means it when they say it. We'll hang it out after graduation. Nothing's going to change. But life changes people. New jobs, new schools, new cities, new relationships, new responsibilities, and suddenly the people who are part of your life every who are part of your everyday life become people you only see on social media. You watch their lives happen through a screen. You see them graduate from college, get jobs, make new friends, move somewhere, and you're happy for them. But there's this weird feeling because you remember when the biggest problem you guys had together was passing a test. And I think that's what scares me about tomorrow. Not the classes, not the teachers, not the homework. It's knowing that every normal day is becoming more valuable. And I don't think you realize how much you'll miss something until you know you can't have it anymore. I used to complain about waking up early for school. I hated getting ready. I hated sitting through classes. I hated waiting for the final bell. And now I'm sitting here thinking, what if I actually miss it? Not just the assignments, not the stress, but the routine, knowing exactly where I'm supposed to be. Knowing that tomorrow I'll walk into the same building and see familiar faces. Because after senior year, that world won't exist anymore. And I think that's something I'm going to have to slowly accept. But right now, I'm still sitting here the night before school starts. Tomorrow morning is getting closer. And there's still so many things I'm wondering about. Who am I going to talk to? Because if the last 3 years have taught me anything, it's that I probably won't be the same person I am today. There's so many things I wish I would have done before senior year had arrived. There's so many things I wish I could have said. There's so many friendships I wish I would have made. And all of that fades when it reaches June. And now everyone is saying their final goodbyes before everyone starts to go their own separate ways. Some people you'll never see again. Some people you'll see here and then. And some people you might see every day. But it doesn't erase the memories that you made with those people. All the times where you guys were just laughing in the class. There's also something else I keep thinking about. The people. Not just the people I'm close with right now, but everyone I've crossed paths without through high school. Some of them probably won't even realize how much they were a part of my life. Someone you only talked to during one class, someone you sat next to at lunch, someone you used to joke around with in the hallway, someone you were close with for a few months before life took you in different directions. You don't realize how many people become a part of your story until you start looking back. I think senior year is going to make me notice that more because everyone is going to be trying to enjoy their final year while also thinking about what comes next. Some people are going to start making plans. Some friendships are going to get stronger. Some people are probably going to fall apart. People who are inseparable might end up completely in different places. Someone you've known since freshman year could end up living hours away. Someone you barely talk to could suddenly become one of the people you spend the most time with. There's no way to know. That certainty is probably what makes this year feel so different. For the first time, there's a deadline on everything. Not an assignment, a real one. There's a date when the school year ends, a day when graduation happens, a day when everyone throws their caps in the air and starts walking toward whatever comes next. Until then, we're all still here. Same school, same hallways, same lunch periods, same morning announcements, same people. But underneath all of that, everyone knows it's only temporary. I wonder if that will change how people act. Will people finally say things they've been holding back? Will people finally reach out to old friends? Will people apologize for things that happened years ago? Will everyone suddenly realize how little some of the old drama actually mattered? Maybe. And I think there's something about knowing that you're running out of time that changes the way you look at things. Things that used to seem important might suddenly feel like completely pointless. Arguments from sophomore year, friendships drama, who liked who sat with who stopped texting first. All the things that felt so serious at that time, now they're just memories. Tomorrow I'm going to walk into that school, all of that behind me. But I'm also walking in with everything that hasn't happened yet. The conversations I haven't had, the people I haven't met, the memories I haven't made, the mistakes I haven't made yet, the moments I'll probably wish I could go back to. That's what makes tomorrow feel so strange. I'm standing at the beginning of something while already knowing it has an ending. I just have no idea what's going to happen between those 2 points. Another year I've been thinking about is different everyone is probably going to feel this year. From the outside, it's easy to look at senior year class and think everyone is excited. Everyone's going to be posting pictures. People are going to be buying senior clothes, talking about graduation, talking about prom, making jokes about being done with school. But behind all of that, I'm sure there's people who are scared. People who don't know what they're doing after graduation. People who are worried about losing their friends. People who want to leave home. People who feel like high school went by too quickly. People who are probably going to be sitting in their rooms tonight thinking the exact same thing I am. Where did the time go? Because I genuinely don't remember deciding that I was ready to become a senior. It just happened. One school year ended, one summer started, and suddenly I'm looking at a calendar reason that tomorrow begins the final one. I keep thinking about how different life was 4 years ago. I was younger, I had different interests, different friends, different problems. I worried about things that don't even matter to me anymore. There were people I thought would always be in my life. There were things I would thought would never change. Then school happened, people grew apart, and some people came into my life. Some friendship became stronger, others disappeared. I changed without really noticing it. And that's probably going to happen again this year. I'm going to meet people who might only be in my life for a few months. I might reconnect with someone I haven't talked to in years. I might have conversation with people I never expected to become close with. There could be friendships that completely change. There could be people I say goodbye to without realizing it. And that's what makes the future so weird. You never know which people are temporary. You assume everyone is going to stay because you've been there for so long. Then graduation comes and everyone takes pictures. Everyone says they'll stay in touch. Everyone promises nothing's going to change. Then everyone goes home. A few weeks pass, then a few months. People get busy. Messages become less frequent. Eventually, someone you used to see every single day becomes someone you haven't talked to in a year. I've seen it happen already, so knowing that makes senior year feel different. I don't want to spend the whole year worrying about losing people, but I also don't want to pretend it isn't going to happen. I want to enjoy being around people while they're still here. I want to actually listen when someone tells me something. I want to remember the stupid jokes, the random conversations, the moments that don't seem important right now because maybe those are the things that will stay with me. Not the big events everyone always tells you to remember. Maybe it'll be the little things. Like someone making you laugh when you're having a terrible day, or just going to grab food after school, or just sitting down and talking, or messing around in class, or talking about a show that's trending. I feel like some of these moments people are not going to realize that one day they'll just be gone forever and you'll never be able to go back to those moments. And I think that's what makes the night before senior year so strange. There's nothing I can really do to prepare for the emotional part of it. I can prepare my backpack. I can pick out what I'm wearing. I can set my alarm. I can make sure I have everything ready for the morning. But none of that prepares me for walking into school knowing that this is the final time I'll ever start a school year here. I keep wondering what tomorrow is going to look like. Will everyone be talking about their summers? Will people immediately start talking about graduation? Will it feel awkward seeing people I haven't seen since school ended? Will everyone already have their groups figured out? And I think that's another thing. I'm nervous about senior year because senior year can make you realize how much people have changed. People who used to sit together but might not anymore. Friendships that seem permanent might look completely different. Someone who spent every lunch with the same people might suddenly be sitting somewhere else. You start noticing who stayed close, who drifted apart, and sometimes you're not even sure where you fit anymore. I think a lot of seniors probably feel that way even if they don't say it, because everyone wants to look like they're having the perfect senior year. Nobody wants to admit they're worried about being alone. Nobody wants to admit they're scared their friends might leave. Nobody wants to admit they have no idea what happens after graduation. Everyone just posts the pictures, senior year, class of 2027, almost done. But there's so much more happening underneath that. There's people who are already missing high school before it's even over. People are excited to leave but terrified of what comes after. People who know exactly where they're going. People who have absolutely no idea. People who are going to stay close with their friends. People who already know some friendships are probably ending. And they are all going to walk into the same school tomorrow carrying completely different feelings. That's something I never really thought about before. When I was younger, I thought everyone experienced school the same way. But now I realize everyone has their own version of it. Someone might look back at school and remember the best years of their life. Someone else might remember feeling completely alone. Someone might be excited to leave. Someone might wish they could stay forever. Someone might have met their closest friends here. And someone else might still be waiting to find theirs. And tomorrow, all of those people are going to walk through the same doors. I don't know what version of my senior year is going to be yet. I don't know what I'm going to remember. I don't know which people will still be around years from now. I don't know which moments are going to matter. And I don't know how much I'm going to change. I've also been thinking about how weird it's going to be seeing the younger students tomorrow. Freshmen are going to be walking around trying to figure out where they're supposed to go. Sophomores are already going to be complaining about another year of school. Juniors are probably going to be thinking about how they're getting closer to senior year. And then there's going to be me, a senior, the person I used to look at and think was so far ahead. That alone feels strange because I don't feel like the person I imagined a senior would be. I still have the same doubts, I still overthink things, and I still don't know exactly what I'm doing after graduation. I still have days where I feel like I'm trying to figure myself out. I guess I thought myself getting older would automatically make me feel like I had everything together. It doesn't. If anything, it gives you more times, it gives you more things to think about. Now there's college, work, money, moving out, eventually figuring out what kind of life you actually want, making decisions that can affect the next few years of your life. It's strange because high school has always been structured for me. You go to class, you get assignments, you pass your classes, then you move up a grade. Then suddenly the structure ends. There's no teacher telling you where you need to be next. There's no automatically next grade. You have to actually decide what happens. And that's probably why graduation feels so much bigger than just leaving school. It means losing the routine you've had your entire life. I thinking about waking up on a random weekday after graduation, no school to go to, no bell, no schedule, no schedule sitting in my backpack, no reason to see the same people I've seen almost every day. The future feels impossible to imagine right now. School is still the center of everything. Even when I complain about it, it's still where most of my time is probably going to go. It's where I see people, it's where I make memories, it's where I spend my mornings and afternoons, and tomorrow I'm starting the final version of that routine. I wonder if I'll become more aware of the little things because of that. Maybe I'll start paying attention to the people I usually ignore. Maybe I'll talk to someone I haven't talked to in a while. Maybe I'll finally stop worrying about stupid things that won't matter after graduation. There's also the possibility that nothing changes. Maybe tomorrow is just another day. Maybe I'll wake up tired, go to school, sit through my classes, come home, and do it again the next day. Maybe senior year won't feel real until months from now. Maybe it won't hit me until I'm sitting at graduation with a cap on my head. Or maybe it'll hit me randomly. Maybe I'll be sitting in class one day and look around at everyone and realize that we only have a few months left together. That thought keeps coming back to me. A few months sounds like a lot. And I think that's another reason why I've been looking back so much. When you know something is ending, you start to enjoy it more. You start remembering how it began too. I think about the people I met in high school. Some of them aren't even in my life anymore. Some I barely recognize now. Others are still around, and it's weird knowing we've grown up together without really realizing it. We went from worrying about freshman year to worrying about what comes after graduation. That's a huge difference. 4 years ago, the biggest thing on my mind might have been finding out where my classes were, or figuring out who I was going to sit with. Now I'm thinking about my entire future. I'm thinking about the kind of person I want to be. I'm thinking about what kind of life I want, where I'm going to work, who I'll still know, where everyone else is going to end up. It feels like everyone is standing at the same starting line, but we're all about to run in different directions. That's probably going to be one of the strangest parts of this year. For most of our lives, we've been moving together. Same grades, same school years, same breaks, same summers. Even if we weren't friends, we were still part of the same environment. After graduation, that changes. There won't be another year where everyone comes back. No, see you next semester. No, I'll see you Monday. Eventually, it'll just become, I'll see you sometime. And that phrase feels completely different. I wonder how many people I'll actually keep in my life. I wonder who I'll sit next, who I'll still text when we're 20, who I'll randomly run into years from now and immediately remember everything, who I'll see online and think, I haven't talked to them in forever. There are people I've already lost touch with that I never expected to lose. So I know it's going to happen again. Maybe that's just a part of growing up that no one ever tells you about. People aren't always meant to stay forever. Sometimes they're only there for a certain part of your life. But knowing that doesn't make it any easier, especially when you're still in the middle of those friendships right now. Because everyone is still here. Right now, I can still walk into school and see people I've known for years. Right now, I can still have those random conversations that seem meaningless. There's still time, and that's what makes tomorrow so complicated. Because there's still time, but there's also less of it than there has ever been. I think I'm gonna start noticing that once school actually begins. The first football game, the first senior event, the first time someone mentions graduation, and everyone starts getting quiet. The first time we take pictures knowing that these pictures are going to be part of our final year. The first time a teacher says you're almost done. The time I realize a month has already passed. But those moments haven't happened yet, but I already know they're coming. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Um, but yeah, I start senior year tomorrow, and as much as I am a little nervous, I guess I'd say I'm just more worried for what the future is bringing. But the announcement I want to make is that this school year will be my final year on YouTube. And as much as I know that it is going to suck for most of you guys who genuinely enjoy my videos, and I am so grateful for all of you who actually do watch them. My goal was never to make a living off YouTube or make a career or make this my full-time career. My goal on YouTube was to help kids or people who felt just as lost as me. Times where you know that you have a situation but you don't know what to do with it. You've never been in this situation before and you can't run to anyone. I make these videos so people have that to lean on. So people can get advice from someone who's been in some of these situations before. And I don't care if I stay with 60 subscribers, 100, 1,000, 10,000, I will still be quitting because like I said, I was never meant to take YouTube this far. I started making videos when I had seen someone that had broken my heart after I thought I had moved on, and seeing them again really triggered that I haven't moved on. I'm still stuck on that same person. I made that video out of emotions. I made it because I was just feeling a lot of sadness and anger seeing them again. But I still did enjoy making videos for you guys. And I still want to make videos for you guys this whole school year. I want to try to upload at least twice a week, once a week. And hopefully everyone has a good back to school, or unless you've already started school, and hopefully you had a good day. And hopefully everyone has a good school year. You know, some people might be walking into freshman year, or sophomore, or junior, or even senior like me. But if there's one thing I want to tell to any incoming freshman is to genuinely make the most of it, because I was in those shoes once where I was being told that, and I used to think they were full of shit. I thought I have all this time in the world. I'm never going to reach senior year anytime soon. And now it's here. So make most of what you have. Become friends with people. Make memories, make moments. Join that club, join that sport, or make YouTube content if you want to. Just do just do what you want to do. Do what's going to make you happy, because at the end of the day, you only get this shot once. You're never going to be in high school again. So make the most of it while you can. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys really did enjoy this video, and I hope everyone keeps staying blessed. Peace.